What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of Crestoria video. I just wanted to make this quick little video because I had this question asked again recently, and nothing against people who are asking, I just want to kind of cover why this won't be a thing. So, obviously, by the title, whatever I decide to title it, we're going to be talking about why Tales of Crestoria will not have an English dub. You know, if you really look at a lot of mobile games, just gacha games in general, you know, you've got Danmachi Memoria Freeze, doesn't have an English dub. All the voices are in Japanese. You've got Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, also all in Japanese. And the reason you don't really get a dub is because these things are a lot more popular in Japan. Like, all these franchises. Like, yes, Final Fantasy is popular in the West as well, but it's not popular enough to where a mobile game is going to go through the trouble to get all the different actors who play these hundreds of different characters and have them come in for, 20, 30 minutes whenever some new content comes out. That's something that I guess studios are much more kind of, I don't want to say motivated, but more invested in doing. Obviously we get all these times where, you'll see the Japanese voices for like Lloyd and Luke are always kind of in the studio doing stuff, and that's because they're very invested over there in the franchise. But over here, Lloyd's English voice actor obviously has changed. Obviously in Symphonia 1 to Symphonia 2 it changed, but Dawn of the New World, I believe, was the last time. There may have been one of those spin-off titles that had a dub, but from my knowledge, I believe Dawn of the New World was the last time Lloyd had an English voice. So, going to kind of go back to that, and then there's also lots of characters that don't even have English voices. Like, we already know that Vague from Tales of Rebirth is going to be in this game, and, he has an English voice, but it was just for a cameo in Graces. So, there's no, full kind of English voice acting there. So that's one thing. And it was kind of already, I'm going to see if I can find it down here. Obviously, people still kind of try to hold out the hope of there possibly being an English dub, but the Crestoria Twitter has done a big job at promoting the actual voices for the Japanese version. Obviously, Crest hasn't had I believe he's a cameo in Xillia 2. I don't actually know for sure because I'm actually still playing through Xillia 2 for the first time myself, so I'll have to see that, but I think that's what I heard, so that would be the last time that he had an English voice. And there's also all this stuff with, and, a lot of people will know about this, the whole union, the voice actors union thing, and that's kind of why Yuri's voice actor could not come back to record the new lines for Definitive Edition. That's why they had to get somebody new to finish off those lines, because over here, it seems like there's a lot more laws. I don't really know enough about voice acting over here in the West to really say for sure, but from what it seems like, there's a lot of kind of laws that go into everything, so it's not as simple as just being like, oh, let's just call all these 50 people in and have them record some lines. So, I think that's the main thing here. Let me see if they have... No, this is for their actual mistake, or their weapons. I'm trying to see if I can find where they... Okay, so yeah, even right here. This is the English Crestoria Twitter, and yet they're promoting the voice actor, the Japanese voice actors right here. So this should have been your first hint that there's not going to be an English dub, because they would have... This game is going to come out, presumably. I mean, isn't any official confirmation, but based on the live tweeting and everything and how English Crestoria is trying to stay up to date, these games should come out at the exact same time worldwide. It's going to be the same server. So obviously this should have been a big hint, because they didn't, if we have voice actor and character designer, they would have had both voice actors kind of listed here if they were going to have an English dub for this. So more or less, that's kind of like my whole thing on this, just to kind of put this info out there so people don't download the game when it comes out and be like, oh, why is there no English voice option? And I know a lot, I'm not going to knock people who prefer playing the game in English because obviously it is a lot easier, but you've also got to think that this game is very kind of niche in the West. Obviously, with Tales of Arise, they're trying to not make it as niche overseas, but it's really in Japan where this is a huge deal, which is why we're not really going to get a English dub for a mobile game. But honestly, even a game like, let's say Dragon Ball Legends or even Dokkan Battle. Dragon Ball is obviously very big worldwide, which is why it has some English dubbing. But a lot of the dubbing, especially for Dragon Ball Legends, is just lines taken from the various video games that they just kind of put in there. I'm sure, obviously for a character like Shallot, and people who aren't Dragon Ball fans just ignore this part of the thing. I'm just trying to make my point. A character like Shallot, which is a brand new character, they obviously have a specific voice actor for him, but a lot of the, like, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, those dialogue lines from playing the game, I already know, like, oh, this was taken from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, this was taken from Raging Blast. Because it's a lot easier to just take old material and put it on a character than to have one of these high-paying voice actors, like Sean Schemmel, come in for half a day to record one or two lines. But that's basically it, guys. So overall, main point is the game, I'm like 99% sure there will not be any English voices in this game. Unfortunate for those who prefer English voices, but for the most part, it's a mobile game, and I feel like having the English voices really doesn't matter too much to me personally, even if I was someone who preferred the English voices, just because I feel like most of the stuff isn't even going to be voiced. You'll have the main scenes being voiced, but I think it'll be like Tales of the Rays, where the battle scenes will be voiced, and then we'll have, like, specific animated, like, cutscenes and stuff that will be voiced. But I think the regular skits themselves will probably not be voiced. I'm not 100% certain on that, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking. So, I guess we'll see what happens with that. But that is it, guys. It's my little Crestoria video for today. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. You want to stay up to date with all things Tales of Crestoria or Tales in general. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.